Welcome to the Fantasy Beer League, where you get half-decent advice from half-decent guys. I'm your host, Sean Joyce. With me, as always, is Lanternfly Exterminator Justin Giel and our resident fantasy football expert, Matt Senni. How are you doing today, Justin?
Pretty good. Got a new title now, I guess, and I have several new scratches on me from my dog when I stopped to visit her.
You got messed up.
Yeah.
How you doing, Senni?
Doing pretty good.
All right, you guys ready to talk about your favorite team?
Yeah.
Of course.
So we're going to start with the division winner, as we always do when we cover these, which was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Senni, what's the name of your starting running back this season?
Najee Harris.
Oh, he knew it.
I was mentally prepared for this exact question.
Damn, he really knew it.
Vince.
Well, you know where they are, right, Vince?
Yeah.
Do you know which frame you're going to fit in now that we're in a new place?
Gonna figure it out right now.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's talk about Najee Harris.
Probably be best to go over that way.
I was thinking next to Senni.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think he's in the perfect situation. He's a talented young rookie. No more James Conner, thank God. And Mike Tomlin's always liked to stick to one running back, so
Yeah.
I don't expect there to be much competition for touches in that offense. I have him as a fringe running back one. I could see him being a good starter. Is that a Peach Bellini?
It is Peach Bellini.
Peach Bellini. Do it. Go, Peach Bellini. Peach Bellini. Do it for the Peach Bellini.
Come on, kill it.
Do it for the Peach Bellini. Oh, boo.
I went up my nose.
Oh, that's rough.
It being super cold doesn't help at all.
Yeah. I meant to take them out of the fridge before we started, but I forgot.
You gotta let them breathe.
Yeah, take your time, Vince. We're going to talk about Deontay Johnson. He's the only Steelers wide receiver I feel particularly good about.
Yeah.
Ben can't throw the ball 50 times like he used to.
And at least he shouldn't. At least.
No, he shouldn't, especially now that they've added running backs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they should be a better team offensively. But Deontay Johnson, 88 catches on a massive 144 targets last year, 7 touchdowns. Even if the volume is lower, I expect him to be a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fantasy outlook of others on the team, Justin?
I mean, with Harris, it's tough, him being a rookie, kind of projecting because you have nothing to go off of. I mean, he was a beast in college, so I'd like to say that that's going to carry over, but truly don't know. You mentioned Tomlin likes one running back, so that could play into his favor. Claypool, I mean, he had the hot start last year, kind of fizzled out midway and then towards the end of the year. I honestly think Johnson might be the only person that I would look to feel comfortable going after.
Well, I love Najee Harris. I'm taking him if I can get him. He's a fringe running back one. I think he could be top 10. At worst, he's going to be top 20.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster has the highest floor of the non-Deontay Johnson player.
Yeah, I
won't touch him.
Yeah, I'm not touching him. Very disappointed that we decided to bring him back, but
I would rather take Claypool, even though I expect Juju to have better numbers on a weekly basis.
I think he's probably more consistent.
Yes, but, I mean, if you catch 7 passes for 40 yards, that's not really much. I'd rather have the option for Claypool to have 2 catches for 90 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
So when I'm shooting for guys that late, I'd rather have upside than floor. So I'd stay away from Juju specifically, personally.
Yeah.
They have an elite defense.
They do.
A good schedule. They play the NFC North and the AFC West, so some bad matchups in a couple of the games, the Packers, the Chiefs. But other than that, I mean, there's nothing that really scares you in either of those divisions. I have them ranked second behind a team we'll talk about later at some point in the preseason. Let's move on to the Ravens. We'll start with Lamar Jackson, who had a slow start to the season but finished fairly strongly. Not much passing volume, but he offers great rushing numbers every week. He's a top 5 quarterback for me, but as we learned last year, don't reach for him.
Yeah.
He went very early last season. I was guilty of it because I thought I was drafting basically a third running back in the quarterback slot. Did not pan out for me. But if you wait on him, you can still get great value, which is what you're looking for at the quarterback position, which is as deep as it's ever been. How do you view the Baltimore backfield, though, Justin?
I like Dobbins a lot. With Lamar being as mobile as he is, that could play negative dividends there. But, I mean, I still like Dobbins a lot. Do you think with Lamar, do you think teams are figuring him out?
No. I mean, they're going to game plan against it, but you can't. There's only so much you can do against talent.
Yeah, that's
Like
true, too.
they can
He
game
is
plan
fun
to
watch.
stop him from running, but I mean he's still he's good at throwing the ball, he's good at running the ball. And when he gets an open field, I mean that's gonna happen. I mean you can game plan all you want, but he's hard to stop. I don't feel like, maybe the numbers he had 2 years ago are repeatable, but I definitely don't think he's by any means not one of the best fantasy quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah, and I wasn't shying away from saying that
Yeah.
he's a very talented top 5.
Yeah, no,
quarterback.
I wouldn't say that he's figured out by
Yeah.
any means.
But yeah, I really just like Dobbins, to be honest with you, out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean I think he's a running back too with upside. Not Gus Johnson. Gus Edwards is still there. The Gus bus still
bus.
chugging along. He's gonna steal some touches. I mean, it's a fact.
Yeah.
So
Who's Gus Johnson?
Gus Johnson is a broadcaster.
Oh, not
No,
in the backfield.
no,
of the
not in
Ravens.
the backfield. No, in the booth. Any interest in the receiving options on this team, Justin?
Not really.
Yeah, I think Mark Andrews is a fine tight end. He's outside of the big three, which is obviously Kelsey, Kittle, Waller. In that order. But Mark Andrews, is fine in that
He's
mix
fine,
of
yeah.
like 4 to 10. I rank all those guys about the same.
I think if you can't get any of the top 3,
Yeah, he's
wait and get Andrews.
he's probably my 4th ranked tight end.
Yeah.
But there's not enough volume for the wide receivers. Hollywood Brown, I know he's good, fast.
He's talented, but I don't know if it's
The
there
volume
for
is
him.
so low.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see drafting him as a flyer, but last year I remember he was hyped as like this top 30 wide receiver, and he's just not that. The
Yeah.
volume isn't there, and it's not going to be consistent in that offense because they're looking to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They also have an elite defense, so I'm focusing on defenses in this division, and another good schedule. Like I said, the NFC North and the AFC West still get the Browns and the Bengals. I know that they're better, but I mean, still good fantasy days whenever
Yeah.
those teams play each other. And they have, in my opinion, the second best fantasy kicker in the NFL. Teaser. Stay tuned. You got to figure out who number 1 is.
Bum, bum.
Let's talk about the Browns.
The Browns.
Justin, how do you view the Nick Chubb-Kareem Hunt split?
I love it. Fantasy-wise, I love it. I really wish Chubb was outside of the division so I could root for him from a non-fantasy standpoint, but I think he's top 5.
Do you mind?
Down in front, goddamn. I think he's a top 5 fantasy running back. And then Hunt, I'd probably put, with his catching abilities, maybe top 15, top 20.
Well, I would say like top 25, maybe top 30. Flex. I wouldn't draft him as a running back, too. He's the most valuable handcuff by far, though,
Yes.
in terms of a
And I think
non-starting
that's
running back.
probably where I'm getting my ranking for him from,
Mm-hmm.
is his handcuff potential there.
Yeah.
God forbid, if you draft Chubb, something happens to him.
Yeah, well, we saw last year
That'd
when
be
Chubb.
horrific, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Chubb was out for a few weeks
Yeah,
last year.
exactly.
I mean, it could have been worse. You could have had McCaffrey and
Yeah, that's true.
We'll get to him at a later date.
Chubb and Thomas
of
is
shit.
already rough enough.
But yeah, Chubb obviously a running back 1, over 1,000 yards last season and 12 touchdowns.
massive contract this year too.
Yeah, I mean contracts, whatever. I don't care.
Doesn't matter for
Doesn't
fantasy.
matter. Well, sometimes guys get big contracts and then they suck. So hopefully
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. But he seems like a humble guy, down to earth.
Yeah, Le'Veon, we're talking about you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the receiving options on this team: OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., and Jarvis Landry. In my opinion, they're flex options at best.
Yeah.
The talent is worth a late pick,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have either guy ranked in my top 30. Odell's numbers have not been anywhere near what they were when he was with the Giants. He just can't seem to get it together with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was actually better when Odell wasn't on the
Get better
field.
without him.
Yeah. Landry has the better floor, not a ton of upside. Like I said, either guys, you're picking them in almost the double-digit rounds, late, like maybe 8, 9. That 8,
They're the
9
guys
to
where
later.
you're like, oh shit, he's still available, and then you put his name on the board.
Yeah, but they're just names at this point. They don't have nearly the appeal they had years ago. Move on to the last team in this division, the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin, what do you expect to see from this offense with Joe Burrow returning from injury?
I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot, so
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good offense, or fantasy-wise, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be fun to watch, though.
I'm having a hard time agreeing with everything you're saying. I feel like with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd, there might be too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, I do agree that they're going to be playing from behind. They're going to need to throw to keep
Yeah.
up. but I don't know who's going to be the number one receiver on this team.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll do a good job at like sharing the wealth.
In my opinion, Jamar Chase has the most upside. You can trace back the roots to Joe Burrow when they played in college together. I think Tyler Boyd is the safest pick. He's got a nice flex level floor every week. But like I said earlier, I would rather go for the upside play. Higgins, I think, is high risk, high reward. So if I had to rank these receivers, I would go Jamar Chase number 1, T. Higgins number 2, Tyler Boyd number 3. As for Joe Mixon, no thank you.
Piece of shit.
He's going to be drafted as a top 12 running back for sure in every draft. I don't think I'm going to have any stock in him. He was terrible last year. He was terrible the year before. I don't know why we keep thinking this fucking guy is going to be good. He's not. He's not efficient.
Are we doing the sip it or dump it, whatever it is?
I'm dumping.
Yeah, I'm dumping it too.
Yeah, dumping him.
I don't even think he's going to be top 12.
Well, I don't either, but I think he'll be drafted top 12. And I mean, if he falls to late teens, early 20s, I feel like I have to take him. But
should we do a $5 bet into the pot that he's not drafted top 12?
Not drafted top 12? Yeah, I'll take the bet that he's going to be drafted in the top 12.
I don't think he's going to be drafted in top 12.
Oh, I think he will be in pretty much every fantasy draft in America.
Neither of us can take him in top 12, or you can't take him in top 12 to prove me wrong.
Okay, I won't do that.
Okay.
Fist bumps because I don't want to knock over the beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have for that team.
Yeah.
So let's transition to what we're drinking.
All right.
So I'm drinking the Key Lime Cheesecake Incident from Microphone. It's a key lime cheesecake inspired Berliner style Weiss ale with lactose, key limes, graham cracker, and cheesecake flavoring. It tastes like a key lime cheesecake. I get a lot of lime and tartness, so it's tart and sour, but it's balanced out with a lot of cinnamon, a bit of a graham cracker crust, almost a little bit of a vanilla sweetness to it. So I'm a big fan of this. What are you drinking, Justin?
I am drinking Digital Album, which is a collab between Dewey Beer Company and Dancing Gnome out of Pittsburgh. 8% IPA, Galaxy, Topaz, Vic Secret, and Citra hops. I don't like this beer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get what that's saying.
At least you were honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I've had it before. I was hoping maybe some time would give it an adjustment to the flavor. It did not. Not great.
We
This
can't all be
smells
winners.
delicious.
Yeah. It smells better than it tastes, but I still like the flavor. And what do you have there, Senni?
I'm drinking Fort Point, I believe is the name. It's a double dry hopped pale ale from Trillium in Boston. It's pretty good. I really don't know how to describe it, but I enjoy it.
Kind of flat.
Good.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't have much carbonation to it at all.
good enough for me, honestly.
All right.
It still tastes good.
Yeah. So what would you like to talk about, Senni?
All right. I'm going to talk about tattoos.
Okay.
Okay. So before I get into this, I just want to be clear. At this point in time, I do not have any tattoos. It's something I've talked about for years. I'm obviously the only one here that doesn't have any tattoos. I've had tons of things I've wanted to get over the years, but as I've watched my friends get tattoos, I just kind of question why sometimes people get things on their body that they could put on like a T-shirt. So obviously, everyone cares about different things. You know what I mean? I can't say for you what's important to you. But, when I see things that are, like, family-related or something involving, like, music or something that's, like, a big passion, that's fine. I could rationalize any of, like, the things I'm seeing on these guys. Even, like, when people get video games or, like, anime, if it's something that's been a part of your life for, like, a major period of your life or a long time, I get it. Okay, there's some silly things that I'm like, okay, Vince has got his Zelda tattoo. Makes perfect sense to me. It's like his favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely plan to
Go
get
blue.
some level of anime tattoos in my life, but only for things that have, like, been part of me since I was 10. I guess what kills me is, like, one, when I see people who get tattoos that are something they just saw, like, the other day.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, I kind of like this thing. I'm going to put this on my body. And I'm like, okay, well, I kind of like this anime, but I can just put it on like a T-shirt. It could be like one of my favorite shirts, and but I don't need to have it permanent.
How many people do you think got Tiger King tattoos?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about it.
I don't even think I can't. I know I can't count that high.
And,
Yeah.
and it's like people get like animals. That's like their favorite animal. One
Tigers.
of my friends from college, she's really into elephants. Always liked elephants. She got a little elephant on her ankle. That's great.
I feel like that's a big thing with girls, elephants.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
they're big for everyone.
When somebody has a tattoo and like you ask them what it means and they just tell you what it is, which has happened many times to me. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know why you got it. If I'm like, okay, what is that? What is that for? And they just say, oh, it's a this. I'm like, okay, well, I can fucking tell what it is. I want you to tell me what it means.
You mean like a soccer ball with a flower pattern?
Dude, or like, like a lion or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to get specific with my friends here, but like and I guess the other thing for me is if you want to get a bunch of random stuff that you like, that's fine. But make like a sleeve out of it.
Yeah.
Build your shoulder up, have it along your forearms, whatever. But like when you're just putting them like here and here and here, I'm like, okay, well now you're just gonna look awkward because you got all this random stuff.
That girl, she should have got the elephant tattoo right here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking at least
killed one elephant.
At least like have a plan. I mean, me and SP have multiple times talked about getting nerdy ass anime tattoos. But we both talked about putting it on a sleeve so that it's all condensed in the same place. At least make fucking sense.
Yeah.
That's my thing is like you get whatever you want, but like make sure you're thinking it through before you do it. I'm not trying to say don't get random things. I'm saying have a fucking plan. Because one day you're going to look back in like 20 years and you're going to say, oh, I got this thing from this TV show I watched once. And like, that's it. Oh,
I thought it looked cool.
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. This thing from this movie was cool, so I'm going to put it on my body. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Joe Exotic on your ass cheek when you're 75.
There's some shit that I don't know if people
worth
think
the
of.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's worth every
especially when your
cent.
shit costs like $50. At least
Yeah,
get
exactly. And like with that, like my tattoos have meaning and everything.
Yeah.
I think an anime sleeve would look really cool. It'd be like flipping through like a picture book.
Yeah.
I do kind of want just one tattoo. I go to a shop and just flip through the street art book and just say, give me that pirate, like
on your cheek.
I was gonna say like on my wrist. And you're like, what's that? I'm like, it's a pirate. I'm like, why? I'm like, because it's $25.
Yeah. No, and I get it, but at least it would blend because you already have tattoos.
Yeah.
There, you know what I mean? It's the idea of just like you're painting on a wall and I randomly paint some shit here and I randomly paint some shit over there.
Yeah, and then call the wall done.
Yeah.
Well, we should paint some shit on these walls. It's completely bare. It's like I'm sitting in the void.
Yeah, Vince, use your editing magic and put like the pirate over there. And
It's missing a mannequin of me in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should bring that over
Senni,
here.
Maybe an elephant in the corner.
There
There you go.
Let's transition into the NFC North now. Aaron Rodgers is back for the Pack. How highly should he be drafted, Justin?
It's tough because when I am drafting or planning for a draft, I like to think of who else is in the league and try to plan when they're going to draft people.
Yep.
I feel like Rodgers in this league, I don't know the final people that are going to be in this league, but
Sean Peoples is
He's
not
out.
doing it again.
I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's
in the
one
league.
and done.
Okay.
So Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a first-round pick.
Correct. Nor should he be.
Right.
I would probably take him maybe 5th or 6th round at the earliest. Do I think he's going to go sooner than that? Probably.
I was going to say, I think he'll go sooner than that.
I think probably at the very earliest, maybe end of 3rd round. I think somebody's going to go down the list and say, okay, I have a running back, I have a wide receiver, let me get a quarterback.
3rd is what I was thinking too.
Like I said, 5th or 6th round is when I would take him. I think that's probably about when he should go in most leagues. But it's really hard to tell, especially with quarterbacks, because I feel like quarterbacks, similar to a defense, when one goes, it's a domino effect. They're all going to start to go.
That does tend to happen, and it really depends on personal preference. I agree with the range that you listed. I have Aaron Rodgers inside my top 10, outside my top 5, mostly because he offers nothing in the realm of rushing, and when I draft a quarterback in standard leagues, I want rushing yards. More valuable than passing yards, more valuable than passing touchdowns. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite players in the NFL, Aaron Jones.
Oh, God.
Over 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns last season.
I forgot he existed, honestly.
I have some mild concern about A.J. Dillon getting goal line work because the dude has quads like houses, and I think he's a very talented back.
Yeah.
But they committed to Aaron Jones. They paid him. Jamal Williams is gone.
Is he Detroit now?
Yes, he's on the Lions. So Aaron Jones is a top 10 running back for me this season, as much as it pains me to say.
Not first round.
He's earned
No,
it.
he's not first round.
Second round, I would say. I have a second round draft grade on him. Davonte Adams is an elite tier of wide receiver. I have him ranked as number 1, especially knowing that Aaron Rodgers is back. He's one of 2 wide receivers I would take in the first round, the other being Tyreek Hill, who we'll talk about at another time. And in my opinion, he's the only Packers running back worth rostering. And then they also have Robert Tonyan, tight end I like. Like I said, no other wide receivers other than Davonte Adams. He's a good tight end to take if you wait.
Yeah.
I expect highs and lows throughout the season like you would with any other tight end who isn't in that elite tier. Now we can talk about
Bears.
Senni, can you name a Bears quarterback?
Dude, now I'm on the spot. Is it the dude with the mustache?
The
My
dude with
dad?
the mustache. Roger Wilco?
No, I was just thinking, isn't there like a dude who's got like a mustache?
Plenty.
Yeah, but I don't
All
know.
3 of us.
There's like 2 dudes that are like known like for having facial hair. Is one of them like their quarterback?
I don't think so.
Are you thinking of Gardner Minshew?
That was the first name I would have said. But I think he's Vikings, right?
No. I can't tell you because it might be a question at another point in time.
That's great. It's not Carson Wentz, is it?
No, it's not. It is Andy Dalton.
I
And
could have never guessed that. It's not Nick Foles, is it?
no,
Mrs.
it's
Fields.
a rookie named Justin Fields.
Okay.
So Andy Dalton, I think, is likely going to start the season. Justin Fields, I expect to take over at some point
when
this
Andy
year.
Dalton gets hurt.
Not even when he gets hurt, just when he does Andy Dalton things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to be the starter for the whole season.
That's
They
true.
wouldn't have traded up to
Was he a
draft him.
first round Fields?
Yes, he was.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes. Do you think the quarterback matters? I'm good for one of those an episode.
Yeah.
Do you think the quarterback matters for Allen Robinson too?
I don't think so. Not if you're the best player on that offense. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I agree. He had 102 catches for 1,250 yards with Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles last season.
He needs to be on a better team.
I agree. But, I mean, I got to think that Justin Fields is at least going to be an upgrade over those
Trubisky's
guys.
who I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he has a mustache or not. I can't remember.
But
Does he have a team now?
That's the name I was thinking of.
He's on the Bills.
Why? He's not gonna
Backup.
play.
No, he's not going to play. He's a backup.
You got Walmart brand Jake Allen.
Yeah. The situation does make me nervous for other players on that team that I like.
You said the situation. I thought of the guy from Jersey Shore.
No, not Mike. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Bears situation.
Yeah, the Bears.
I like Darnell Mooney a lot. I'm hesitant to draft him.
Yeah.
But he might be somebody I'm keeping an eye on as the season goes on, or even a late flyer. I don't know. I just feel like that offense, especially when Justin Fields takes over, is going to be athletic and not so much reliant on airing it out. David Montgomery, volume is king. Tariq Cohen's back, so his volume's going to dip a bit. One of the main reasons Montgomery was so successful last season was because he had more passing volume. Where, he'd be good for like 6 catches for 30 yards, which is terrible, but he got points. He's a flex option. He's outside my top 20.
Yeah.
If I have to eat these words again, I'm going to be pissed. David Montgomery fucking sucks.
Yeah, he can't read. He can't play football.
No, he does look dumb as hell.
Yeah, he
I'll play football.
needs a better headshot.
I got 2 yards per carry. I had a good day, coach. Let's talk about the Vikings.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, second best player in fantasy for me this season. Handcuff him with Alexander Madison if you can, but I have Cook as my 1B option going into the season. Justin, what value do you see for the Vikings wide receivers?
I really like both of them. I mean, I expected Jefferson to have a good year. I didn't expect him to have as good a year as he did. To be completely honest with you, I think if you could draft either wide receiver and be perfectly happy, or should be perfectly happy with either of them.
I'm higher on Jefferson. 1,400 yards as a rookie.
Yeah.
He's the top option in the offense
Yeah.
now, the clear wide receiver 1 on that team. And Thielen's getting older. He's just turned 30. That's always a dreaded number for wide receivers. That's when their production dips off a little bit. So I'm not as high on Thielen, but I do recognize he had 14 touchdowns last season, which is incredible. So he's still a top 25, arguably top 20 wide receiver for me. Wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 range. But Justin Jefferson, I think, is going to finish as a wide receiver 1. I'm very high on him. I'd be ecstatic if I got him.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be a 2nd, 3rd round draft pick. Another name I want to point out, just as a sleeper, Irf Smith Jr. He's a tight end on that team. Kyle Rudolph is gone. Smith was always athletic, a guy that I thought deserved more playing time. I think he's a good pick if you wait on tight end. Maybe pair him with a guy like a Mark Andrews or something and see which one pans out better. But that's all I have on the Vikings. Anything you want to add? Disagree with?
Irv's a cool name.
Thank you for your
I know
contribution.
it's short for Irvin, or maybe
it's not.
Maybe it's just fully Irv.
Well, while I ask Senni this question, you should look up and see if Irf Smith Jr. is short for anything. We're going to talk about the Lions. Senni, who's the quarterback for the Lions?
Well, I do not believe it's Matt Stafford at this point.
That is correct. It is no longer Matthew Stafford.
It is Irvin. Went to Brother Martin High School.
Brother Martin?
Is
Brother
it someone
Martin.
who just got there?
Yes.
It's not.
It might be.
No. It's not Darnold, is it?
No, it's not Darnold. It's Jared Goff. He was the quarterback for the Rams.
Yes, I did know he was the Rams.
Yeah,
I
so
know he left.
Stafford got traded to the Rams in exchange for Jared Goff and other shit,
Okay.
but not shit we care about. Justin, is there any value in Detroit pass catchers with Goff under center?
I don't think so.
I agree. TJ Hawkinson is another all right tight end that I'd feel okay taking if I waited for one. But other than that, I got nothing in terms of pass catchers. Marvin Jones Jr. is gone. Kenny Golladay is gone. Nothing to really like there. Not a good team.
Yeah, Lions are playing for the first overall pick.
They may be. That's very fair. Deandre Swift is a player I do like, though. He finished the year on a high note, got more reps. He flashed his receiving skills in his rookie season. And I expect him to be the focal point of the offense because, as we just talked about, I don't even know if I can name you a wide receiver on the Lions that I would, want on my team. So I don't think there's one I'm drafting even in round 16. So I
would draft 2 kickers before I draft the Lions wide receiver.
Well, I think that's bad advice, but the point is noted.
It's half decent advice. You
Yeah.
have half
Probably
decent.
some shit I would do.
You have
Yeah.
half decent. You have half bad.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
half. That's the other half of the
Yeah.
decent. For me, he's a high-end running back too. They have a real man football coach in Dan Man Campbell, not Soupy, different guy.
I hung out with Soupy about a month ago.
I know that was really cool. I was jealous of that. But he's a guy that seems like he wants to run the ball first through third down and then play defense. He's talking about how he wants to bite off the ankles of other opponents. He's a real football guy.
Yeah,
the
big football guy.
Type of guy that wears shorts in the winter. So I have high hopes for DeAndre Swift this season. That's all we have this week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be with you every Wednesday on YouTube with audio-only podcasts available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FantasyBeerLG. Those are the words Fantasy Beer and the letters LNG. As always, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We don't really care if you watch. Just help us get more views. That doesn't make any sense, does it? You can watch, just, you have to watch for 3 seconds, and then, we get a view,
That's
and
what my
we're
girlfriend
happy.
does. She opens the video, she likes it, she watches her vlogs.
That's the other part of that bad side of the half-decent advice. I was kind of making a joke, but I appreciate the support, as minimal as it may be. I'm Sean Joyce. He's Justin Giel, and here's Matt Senni with his advice of the week.
If you're a real man, you'll wear shorts in the winter like Sean Joyce does.
That's true. I'm no man like Man Campbell, but
No.
bye.